7:08 p.m. This is moments after the state was directly in front of me at the Ontario Town Square with bright lights. That's the state using its state vehicles to monitor. Group stalkers are to my right at the town square using their communication devices. That is the ambulance driving south on Euclid. Lights and sirens sounding. Okay, this is group stalking. You have third parties that are in close proximity. They're not acting alone. This is group stalking. They're close to me with communication devices in operation as the state is providing audible and light activity. And this is group stalking. Moments before this, the state engaged in driving north, crossing path, creating light activity that was appearing directly in front of me, P.O.C. I'm referencing the cameras as well on the venue cameras. I'm at Ontario Town Square, and this is P.O.C. So third parties surround. There's an old woman with a beanie on, carrying a cane. Understand? These are group stalkers in the same way that minors under 18 are engaged in group stalking. Okay, this is a demonic system, and group stalking is not contingent on your age. It's contingent on the use of communication devices, which are universal. You're in the state of California. I'm showing you how demons are engaging in a satanic criminal targeting system. The state was engaging in light activity, very vibrant, bright light activity to my left as I was navigating internet, and they drive north, crossing path. Moments later, the ambulance, that is AMR, group stalker, heavily documented in the exact same conduct. At the same time, I'm navigating the internet on my Facebook, and they engaging using their sirens and lights and crossing path again, going south in the opposite direction on Euclid Avenue. Euclid Avenue is directly in front of me. This is the same place where I document on a daily basis the state stalking by light. This is the fake sun directly over the amphitheater where I sit in front of the big clock at the Ontario Town Square. That is not the sun. That is stalking with light. That is the first element for criminal monitoring. This is the same venue where the state is engaged in systematically flying over in third-party airplanes, Southwest, U.S., flying directly over the town square in helicopter. This is the same venue where aircraft is flying right now over the same airspace. It's aligned to me. The aircraft is blinking light. That's light activity in relevant position. Okay, this is criminal monitoring, and that is the ongoing P.O.C. The third parties, they're all on the facility cameras. They surround. Okay, you're not talking about an individual. This is group conduct, and so you have the many different faces acting on behalf of the one. The one is the state of California that is engaged in stalking and targeting, and the people of the state of California are present. That is stalking. They are present. That's the term, group stalking, and they are present in my path in relevant position while the state is engaging in that criminal conduct. And this is why group stalkers are engaging in that criminal monitoring. Legally, that is stalking because they are present, vicariously present on behalf of that state. That's exactly what's happening right now. It is 7:11 p.m. and that is, again, the state engaging in use of criminal misuse of their emergency vehicles, using lights as they're going north on Euclid, and then moments later using lights and sirens driving in the opposite direction. That is south on Euclid. And again, the light and the audible activity is targeted to my location. Sirens stop after they pass. Okay, amplification of that activity that is created. Exceptionally bright activity. Not only did the emergency vehicle pass going north on Euclid Avenue, but there are, and I'm standing at Ontario Town Square, I'm referencing the cameras while I'm also documenting this on my phone. The light activity also appeared on the column that has a camera on it under the amphitheater, and that bright light activity appeared on the column. So you're talking about the state being behind as well, aiming light. They would have to be, because that cannot be coming from Euclid. So this is light that was coming from behind. That is the state engaging in surrounding conduct, creating light activity, while group stalkers, that is third parties, are present in close proximity with communication devices. This is how you monitor. There are no exceptions and there are no exclusions. Engagement in any of the three criminal elements of monitoring is that prosecution of that third party, which the public entity, the state of California, in no way can shelter from that. This is how you prosecute a public entity engaged in criminal monitoring, which is a satanic system. And this is how they engage in that, outwardly looking to appear as though they're doing one thing when they are actually engaged in criminal targeting of an American citizen, which is designed to everything that they are doing is designed to monitor. And so this is how you monitor being in the path. There is no exception to that. Doesn't matter how old you are or how young you look. You're talking about cell phones. This is what they're using. You literally have minors engaging in monitoring with the state. And you have people of majority engaging in criminal facilitation using minors, handing their communication devices to those under 18 in order to engage in monitoring. I'm telling you about all of the tactics that have been documented, that have been observed. And as I stand here, that is, again, the state sounding its sirens. That is the ongoing pattern of conduct. At the same time, you have these group stalkers that appear to my right, taking a picture of the Christmas tree at the town square. This is being in relevant position in use of a communication device. Even if they don't hold it out, they all represent a communication device. And they are merely in close proximity. They are acting as a group. They are one group monitoring. And the same conduct occurring at Stater Brothers. All right? That is the ambulance again, AMR, group stalker, crossing path, now going in the opposite direction, north. They're literally patrolling. Understand what that is. When you're engaged in repetitious crossing a path, that's called patrolling. So this is the third time that they have crossed path. First time without sirens, just creating light activity. And this is the second time going south, creating light activity and audible activity. And this is the third time going now north, creating light activity and audible activity. This is while the state is engaged in literally monitoring, literally listening to every word that I am stating as I document their POC. So this is what I have documented with regard to the more I document, the more they engage in it. That is the pattern, and it is a psychopathic pattern that in no way contradicts or conflicts with what I continue to document. This is the ongoing real-time knowledge of the stalker, that is the state of California, as it is aware of what I am documenting. It's 7:14 p.m. and I just want to be clear. This is where all facts are connected. I just got through leaving the Stater Brothers, a third-party facilitating venue, engaging in not only ongoing group stalking and monitoring, facilitation of that criminal conduct with and on behalf of the state, but they are engaged in which is termed sexual group assault and battery, where they are engaging in criminal monitoring while you are physically indisposed in a private space, intentionally creating activity, intentionally engaged in relevant positioning, because monitoring does not stop. And so this is how you prosecute. Understand that group stalking and monitoring is an exceedingly violent group sexual violation of the targeted individual. The state of California is a sex offender, acting directly and vicariously through the people of the state of California, who are all monitoring together. They're all listening together as you undress, as you use the bathroom, as you put your clothes back on, as you are, to be clear, you have to understand they're listening to you wipe yourself. They're listening to you take off your clothing. And I have to be explicit because you have to understand what the state is engaged in. And that is extremely perverted, sexually motivated, and deranged, demonic activity. Okay. And that activity creation at that moment of being physically exposed is for the criminal purpose of monitoring you while your genitalia is exposed. Understand the criminal intent and the sexual aspect of that criminal intent. Okay. That is the state engaging in that monitoring conduct at that pivotal moment, which they are aware of because they are monitoring you at all times. That is what I documented at 646 West Hope Boulevard, Stater Brothers, third-party facilitating venue, already documented in the same pattern of conduct, directly connected to what I am documenting right now. The facts continue, and they are all connected. There is no chopping up the facts in the sequence of events. That was P.O.C. then. This is P.O.C. now. They are engaged in constant monitoring and group stalking. That is exactly what they are engaged in at this venue, and they are on the cameras. So understand documentation exists in more than one form. The targeted individual may use not only their own communication devices, but use the cameras at every venue because you are subject to ongoing targeting, ongoing monitoring. And that is exactly what I did inside of the West Valley Jail, using the very facility cameras in order to document and capture demonic activity as they were engaged in constant, ceaseless, psychopathic criminal targeting and monitoring. And I want to get the license plate of these third parties who were present engaging in monitoring with AMR, with the police. This is license plate 7 K as in Knight, R as in Robert, N as in Nancy, 504, getting into a silver Honda. That is POC. There are, again, they don't act as one. You have third parties that are acting as one group. Okay, third parties that is the state. You're talking about third parties. In my language, in my writing, I state the state and third parties, but understand third parties are the state. Third parties are the vicarious presence of the state. The state is stalking directly by police, ambulance, fire personnel, and by airplane and helicopter. The state is stalking indirectly, meaning vicariously, through third parties. And this is how the state is engaging in. This is how you prosecute a public entity engaged in criminal monitoring and group stalking. Group stalking is a monitoring system. Understand that. And the way you monitor is by constant presence. That is the stalking conduct. They are present in your path as a group for the criminal purpose to monitor. They are monitoring with communication devices. So there is a radius, a zone of relevant positioning, meaning they do not have to be literally in your face. Although, just as I'm documenting, these group stalkers come close. And often they do. You'll have a couple that are close, and they are operating. There is a network of communication devices, and they are engaging in that. While activity is created close to you, they are present monitoring, and they are acting in concert with the network of communication devices with which you are being monitored by, in concert and on behalf of the state of California. And this is demonic activity. Okay, the fact that I am speaking of demonic activity, I want to be clear, this is context. Okay, prosecuting the state of California because it is engaged in what is a seriously demented and psychopathic behavioral pattern that is rooted in Satanism is no means for prosecution. This is context. Understand, not only will they be prosecuted, they need to be imprisoned and put in straitjackets. These are psychopaths. Okay, these are psychopaths that have yet to be exposed as such. They are engaged in that which appears as one thing while they are engaged in something that is wholly another. That is demonic activity. Okay, that is what is criminally deranged about what they are doing. And it is exceedingly criminal and at an unprecedented level of a threat posed to that targeted individual. And understand, and you can imagine, if you can fathom, the ordinary targeted individual lacking the legal skill set or knowledge and ability to even articulate or understand or in any way combat or confront an entity, a government, acting with the very people of the state, everyone around you. It is designed to depict that targeted individual as suffering from mental illness. It is designed, this is the malicious intent, this is the malicious design of the state's system. You understand? This is the beauty, this is the central, preeminent role of documentation. Okay, and the documentation reveals the ongoing systematic presence of this behavioral pattern by complete strangers who are abiding by identical conduct. And that is how you prosecute, and that's how you identify what it is. And it is also, it's context, like I said. It's not just the fact that they are engaged in criminal conduct. You're talking about when you get to prosecution and disincentivizing engagement in it because they do not want to be revealed as engaged in what is demonic. And it is demonic. You're talking about demons who are engaging in criminal activity. It is satanic at its root. Every element of criminal monitoring is demonically rooted. Understand that. And this is that which is something that is very, very, I would say, not intended to ever be exposed. The aspect of the idea of having the people of the state of California monitoring in concert with the government is that which is supposed to outwardly appear as what is everyday life, normal everyday life. Everywhere you go, there's going to be people there. You're in the United States. You're in California, okay? And you're talking about with communication devices. Everyone literally has a cell phone. You're talking about minors. You're talking about old people. Everyone. And this is also intentional, understand. This is intentional. This is intentional. This is designed to facilitate a state that is intending to monitor American citizens. The prevalence of communication devices and monitoring via the very people of the state of California. This is a satanic system, and it is that which is at every use, stalking by light. And understand, it is not just stalking with a quote-unquote fake sun. Stalking by light is that which third parties engage in, using their headlights. Okay, while I was illegally confined inside of West Valley Jail, Stalking by light, the deputies engaging in flashing light, using their flashlights to touch my person, which is sexual molestation. That is a touching while they are stalking you. You're talking about a group stalker that's touching you with light, and they are touching you not as an individual, as a group, okay? This is how you break down legally what they are doing and how you prosecute that. Light is instrumental in monitoring, and you do not in any way get to touch the targeted individual while you are stalking them. This is in no way different than any other group sexual violent rape or attack. It is equal in the violation of the targeted individual's ordinary sensibilities. It is a violation. It is a violent violation of the targeted individual, and this is that which is demonic activity. Not only are they monitoring you, but then they are engaging and using their instruments of monitoring to touch your person. Okay, stalking with light. The third parties use their headlights. They use their residences, the lights, the motion light detectors. Understand, that is the exact same conduct. It facilitates criminal monitoring, okay? You're talking about, I have documented building lights of commercial plazas. You're talking about all manner of the aircrafts, the very planes and helicopters that they engage in blinking lights. That's light activity in relevant position while they are patrolling around, creating audible activity, because it is amplified in sound in order to be able to hear that while they're flying over. Okay, that's intentional activity creation in relevant position. All manner of activity creation while they maintain presence. That's what group stalking is. That is essentially what group stalking is. Group stalking is that which is constant presence, that's the stalking, while they monitor. In order to monitor, you have to always be present. And they are not present as an individual, okay? So as opposed to one person that you're going to readily recognize always being everywhere that you're at, okay? The malicious design of the state's criminal system is that which uses the multiplicity of faces, the very people of the state, who each and every single last one of them are the vicarious presence of the state. Okay, that is contract stalking. That is gang stalking. That is state organized stalking. That's also known as group stalking, as one group. They are not individuals. Okay, they engage in criminal defamation, not speaking as an individual. They speak as the state. When you are engaging in the pattern of conduct of criminal monitoring, okay, any engagement in any of the criminal elements, 1, 2, or 3, light activity of any type or relevant positioning, that is merely being in the path such that the state is able to monitor you, and the state engaging in that which is incredibly threatening, posing an unprecedented level of an emergency, a threat to the very physical safety and welfare of the target individual. If you in any way facilitate that by mere presence, being in the path, you are engaging in the state's pattern of conduct. When you are engaging in the state's pattern of conduct, you do so vicariously, meaning you are not operating, you are not present, you are not speaking as an individual, you are present, you are acting, you are speaking as the state. And that is how you prosecute a public entity engaged in group stalking. And this is what continues as I go from venue to venue to venue. I documented Baymont Inn. The entire time walking from Baymont Inn, the state engaging in ongoing stalking, literally in airplanes, remaining in line in relevant position to me, hovering over by airplanes and helicopter. I showed at Baymont Inn, the helicopter was patrolling around me. And the distance that the helicopter was flying around on that video, that speaks to relevant positioning. Understand, they can be at a distance, engaging in monitoring conduct, while activity surrounds constantly. You're talking about an expansive system of monitoring. Okay, this is a state system. They are acting as a group. It is a very diligent and highly psychopathic targeting system. It is rooted in Satanism. Okay, these are a bunch of psychopaths, literally, who are outwardly seeking, very diligent to appear as they're doing one thing, and they are targeting you with their back to you, looking outward like they're playing with their children or playing with their dog or looking at the Christmas tree and taking pictures while they are monitoring. That is a psychopath. And very, very, very instrumental and important, crucial documentation gathered on the facility cameras at West Valley Jail. Okay, every single element remained present. And you are seeing up close and personal inside of that facility the same satanic system by the people of the state of California in the jail. That is the inmates. okay, by the state, represented by the deputies and the medical workers. They are representing the state inside of that facility, engaged in kidnapping, engaged in criminal defamation, and the inmates alike. They are engaged in criminal monitoring. They were engaged in systematic activity creation as they were listening to me as a single group. That's the demonic aspect. The fact that they are engaging in constant stalking with activity, the ability to create activity. And activity, remember, that is a term of art, meaning anything you can hear, anything you can see, anything you can feel. This is vibration, rumbling, shaking, anything like that, which is usually the state that's engaging in that sort of amplification, that sort of sensational activity. But third parties, they engage in creating chiefly audible and or visible activity. And that the demonic aspect of that ability to continue to engage in stalking, that is following, meaning with simultaneity to my any movement or gesture or any change thereof, that's the demonic aspect. You are talking about a group that they are focused on you, and you know this by the documented pattern, and that's a documented pattern. Everywhere that I go, the ongoing presence and creation of activity, and that's how you monitor as well. Okay, so this is how you're documenting the pattern of conduct, and you're seeing this is also how you monitor. You monitor with noise, with activity. And they create ongoing activity with simultaneity to my operation of a communication device, with any movement that I make, any sudden change of any movement and activity that I make. And it is demonic, the fact that they are able to do so outside of what is audible by the human ear. Okay? You cannot hear me moving inside of a cell. And when I am merely referencing, moving my arm up and down because I'm referencing the camera, but demons can, okay? And this is what I was documenting inside of West Valley Jail, while activity was amplified in sound. That's the state, that state action amplifying sound inside of the cell, which was occurring with simultaneity to my every movement. While I'm in bed, while I'm eating, while I'm using the bathroom, while I move around in the cell, okay, that is P.O.C. That's P.O.C. And the people of the state of California in the jail are the inmates acting with the state, who is also stalking with light. Okay, impossible light activity, which is also a demonic aspect of the state system. Okay, anyway, it is 7:30 p.m. and I just want to show this is ongoing group stalking and monitoring. I continue to just show how the system is continuous. These are literally third parties that are seamlessly engaged in. It is effortless for them to just walk past, for them to drive past, for them to ride past on their bike, for them to remain inside of any building where they're working, or where they're engaging in grocery shopping, or where they're engaging in going into the library, or actually looking like they actually look like stalkers when they sit in their cars. They literally look like stalkers, but you're talking about that which is designed to outwardly appear as one thing when it is entirely another. And I am stripping down all of that form, which is irrelevant legally. That's not how you analyze criminal monitoring, and that is not what is legally relevant in the prosecution of the state of California, and the prosecution of every third party facilitating that government criminal conduct. It is P.O.C. And it is also that which is relevant to, which is continuous from, and which is what I'm showing from Baymont Inn to the Ontario Library. I went to Stater Brothers, and I just want to show the state's ongoing conduct here is directly tied to what I document everywhere else. That pattern of conduct is continuous. There's no dissection, no separation, no analyzing in a vacuum. It is all related. It was P.O.C. at Stater Brothers, and it's P.O.C. here at the Ontario Town Square, where the state is engaged in that ongoing, heavily documented pattern of stalking with audible activity, using the sirens, using the lights on their emergency vehicles as they surround in relevant position, and as third parties are stalking, meaning surrounding in my path, remaining in the path on behalf of that state that is flying over the town square as well. Flying over the town square, patrolling over this airspace where I remain. That's P.O.C. And what's relevant also to prosecution, again, you're talking about a public entity that is literally listening to every word that is documented about its criminal conduct. This is the same for every third party while you are documenting them. This is the psychopath while you are documenting them. Okay, listening to every word, aware of what you are documenting, okay, and continuously engaging in it. Continuing does not in any way contradict the fact that you're documenting group stalking and monitoring. And there are so many false premises upon which the state has rested. This is a matter of public corruption, and I am demonstrating how it is in no way impervious to prosecution whatsoever. It is currently in violation of federal law. They are monitoring with communication devices in violation of federal law 18 U.S.C. section 42A. They're using communication devices. They're using trains, planes, cars, highways, freeways. They're using all manner of interstate commerce to monitor, okay? And they're doing it as a group. This is not an individual. The one that is stalking is the state of California. The many are stalking on behalf of that one. That is the people of the state of California stalking on behalf of that state with the criminal intent to monitor. It is a monitoring system with ceaseless, relentless, psychopathic stalking conduct. Okay, and there are no exceptions and there are no exclusions. It is, again, 7:33. I am at Ontario Town Square. Cameras are on this venue. I have engaged in, continuous heavy documentation at this venue. This is nothing new. The ongoing patrolling while I'm at this venue is not only above by the state in aircraft, but also all around by third parties in the entire zone of relevant positioning. And that is a zone that spans out a certain radius because they are using communication devices. All right. That is P.O.C. December 7th, 2020. 6WXL251. 7AEM 842. Looks like 8BAB 873 19009F as in Frank 2. 7KUD 373. 30850EZ, that's Laura's Meat, that's a commercial vehicle. 5NIR 789. 8Y80703, SWGG 783, 8EJK 087, 7SWG 937. Let's see. 8EJU 225. Okay, and then I have additional license plates here. This is P.O.C. as I'm noting it at Sultana and Holt Boulevard. This is, let's see. Sorry, trying to. Let's see. BG65L17, that's a paper license on HP Communications. That's a commercial vehicle engaging in P.O.C. right there at the fire station, acting with the state under the state's fake sun, right in front of state facilitating venue, that is the fire department. That is HP Communications, the people of the state, monitoring in that commercial vehicle, okay? California license 2000241, US.1060169. And I made notes about the numbers on the vehicle. So it says STIL number 752762. And that was a paper license plate on that commercial vehicle. Again, license BG65L17. I have California license number 2002. Oh, okay. I've already noted that one. 200241. That's the same one. US dot. Yeah, same US dot number 101. Okay. License plate 26121U1. This is HP Communications. And it says HP number 1061 on the vehicle. That's what I noted. Fire Battalion license number 1420228. License plate 91485H as in Henry 2. And let's see. Let's Making sure I have everything I documented on. Okay. All right, that is documentation noted at around December 7th, 2020. December 7th also includes this is FedEx, license 14891K1. Want to make sure we get the people of the state that are engaging in the state's pattern of conduct in their commercial vehicles, representing the people and the means in which they engage in criminal monitoring on behalf of the public entity. And that was FedEx.